Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Betwixt Now and Sunrise, a movie starring Val Kilmer and Bruce Dern, written and directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Are you kidding me? Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 11. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Where the hell did this movie come from? Where the F did this movie come from? Val Kilmer stars as a writer, going to a small town out in the middle of nowhere. He runs into Bruce Dern, and of course, as always, the writer is struggling. He's struggling because he needs money. He's sick of writing his book series, The Witch Hunter, and Bruce Dern has a mystery on his hand, wants to write a book, and they apparently have a bunch of vampire murders. I don't know. It's a very strange film. It's a very strange looking film. It's shot very weird. It's very odd indeed. Elle Fanning is in it, and I guess it's got vampires in it. I don't know. They don't show the vampires. They do show victims, so I suspect maybe that it's not vampires. Maybe it's all in his head. There's a bunch of dream sequences with Elle, and the story of, I guess, how she got turned into a vampire. I don't know. So, or maybe she is a vampire. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. This is the authentic cut. So I'm not sure. Maybe this was jammed up during the pandemic. So Val Kilmer, Bruce Dern, Elle Fanning, Anthony Fusco, David Paymer, Ben Chaplin, Alden Ehrenreich, Joanne Wally, Don Novello, and Tom Waits. Crazy. Written, produced, and directed by Francis Ford Coppola. What? It's crazy. It's on Blu-ray and digital now. It's not rated. Where did this movie come from? So it's very strange to me that this suddenly... Oh, and there was a little bit at the end. I think I missed this. Let me see. Play it. I hope there's no music. No, that was it. There was no music, no dialogue, nothing. That's crazy. So yeah, I guess this is when she gets turned into a vampire. Early in a flashback, there's a lot of black and white sequences. It's just so weird the way this is shot. It doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like a TV movie almost. This is Francis Ford Coppola. So guessing about this movie. Now, I got a high bar, right? There's a high bar in your mind when you hear Francis Ford Coppola. It's got to be like, he's got to be doing something here. Val Kilmer, Bruce Dern. Okay, they're the two main characters. So the first act, Val Kilmer comes to town. He's struggling. He's had his day in the sun as a writer, and now he wants to do something more personal. But to make money, he needs to write another witch hunter book, and he really doesn't want to do that. Bruce Dern hits him up. They've got the strange murder on their hand in the town. Wants to write a book. At first, Val is like, no. Then he, after a call to either his wife or his publisher, I can't tell, he decides, I'm going to have to do this. So the second act, he goes to Bruce Dern. He says, yeah, I'll write the book with you. And he's trying to get some money out of it, so he agrees to do it. At the same time, he's having weird dreams. He's talking to V, played by Elle Fanning, and I don't know. She's talking to him about vampire stuff. I don't know. Does he know it's a dream? Is it a dream, or is he aware that it's something more? He investigates it with Bruce Dern, finds out more about the background of I don't know, some local mythos about a vampire or whatever. Is this a full length movie? I wonder. Is this even a full length movie? I gotta learn more about this. Let's go to the IMDb. Betwixt Now and Sunrise. Yeah, that's very much a vampire movie. I mean, look at the poster for it with Elle Fanning, definitely looking like a vampire. Got a little pentagram or witch, definitely a witch. He writes a book called The Witch Hunter in the story. Man, there's almost nothing about this movie. It's billed as a horror movie. Very little info on this. Hour and 28 minutes. So it is a full-length movie. Crazy. It doesn't have a great IMDb rating, about 4.7 out of 10. But you would expect it to be something, right? He must be doing something with this. I don't know. I would see this. The third act, it's kind of a bunch of different ways you can go, right? The most obvious way is the vampires are killing people in town, and Val Kilmer and Bruce Dern kill the vampires at the end of the movie and save everybody. Doesn't seem like it's going that way, though. It seems like it's going a more, I don't know, metaphysical way or dreamy way, like the vampires are a metaphor for something, and maybe they're not real, or they are real, and in the end, they can't be stopped, and I don't know, Val Kilmer is killed, or goes with the vampires. He's in love with he becomes in love with the vampire, and then he's bitten, and then becomes young and joins up with her. I don't know, something like that. Or never writes the book. I think, however this ends, it's going to end a little weird and odd, or maybe beautiful. Like, I'm not sure how that could end. It's billed as a horror movie, but it's got this very almost airy presentation about it. It's weird. And it's Francis Ford Coppola. It's like, they didn't say anything about this movie. And Val Kilmer's in it. I mean, Val Kilmer was more recently in Top Gun. He's had some actual medical problems in real life. When the hell did they shoot this? They must have shot this. It's billed as a 2022 movie on the IMDb. So I suspect it was shot sometime during the pandemic, probably greatly delayed during the post-production process, and then they didn't know when to release it, right? Because there were a lot of guys who made movies around that time, and they kind of held back on releasing them because they wanted to wait until movie theaters, especially an art house movie like this. This is more of an art house movie, I think. Or to get better distribution. That a guy like Francis Ford, I mean, this shows you the state of movies, right? Francis Ford Coppola, the man who did The Godfather and The Godfather 2, that they won't just like, oh, let's give it a release. Let's give it a release in theaters. I don't even think this made it to theaters. I think this is direct to video. I'm surprised it hasn't popped up on YouTube for rent. But I guess it's just coming out on VOD. Maybe it's not the sort of movie to get a wide release, but still, you think a guy with a name like that and Val Kilmer together would rate at least art house distribution. At least. Instead, this just feels, and it feels, I gotta say, it looks fine, but it feels a little cheap, the way it's shot, but I'm guessing he's going for that for some reason, some effect. But then in the black and white scenes, it seems more like a real movie. So, I'm intrigued by this movie. Betwixt Now and Sunrise. A vampire movie that made with a lot of, in my opinion, heavyweights in the industry, just kind of hit me out of nowhere. Where the hell has this been? Why is no one talking about it? Is it bad? Did anybody see it? If you've seen it, let me know in the comments. because I'm very intrigued, and I probably will rent it unless you tell me it's really, really bad, in which case maybe I'll pass. But I don't know, man. That's nuts. Isn't that nuts? Francis Ford Coppola finally makes a movie, and it just sort of sneaks out on VOD. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. You got to check me out on Rumble at least. Rumble is where everybody's going. I will be at Sign of the Pines on Sunday. I believe it's I think it starts at 10. It's at Stockton College. And it's a big Piney event. Oh, if you're South Jersey Piney, got to go to Sign of the Pines. Hope to see you there, and we'll see you in the next one.